Yo, 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 what is up, Golden State Trading Group? We are back with another video. Today is going to get real interesting. We haven't done an update in a few days, so I'm excited to dive into this one. Before we start breaking down the Bitcoin charts, we're going to look at some news, some recent news that's kind of came up, which I strongly believe affected the Bitcoin market. We're also going to be looking at some on-chain analysis, and last but not least, we'll dive in to Bitcoin chart, and we'll kind of dig into it, start to break it down and see what is coming on. But you know what? I'm really excited, guys, because it's been a while since the crypto market has looked this bullish. I'm hoping that we get a nice pump going into Christmas and New Year's. Indicators are leading in that direction, but let's dive in and let's see what you guys think. All right, so some of you know that this last month there's been a lot of this variant talk. This whole virus thing has came back into play after dying down over the summer a little bit and cases going down. This whole thing is starting to get flared back up again. Since November, there's been a lot of talk of this new variant affecting people, and you know what happens time after time, guys. Every time there's some FUD, every time there's some uncertainty, anytime there's doubt, these are going to bring the markets down. These are catalysts for pushing the market down. Sometimes these markets can be manipulated. Sometimes it's just bears trying to get in at a better price. There is a number of different things that play part to these market cycles. Right now, I'm going to play one of the recent videos from President, basically just saying, you know what, Omicron is back into the picture, and this is kind of playing a big part into the story.
Well, what took so long, it didn't take long at all. What happened was the Omicron virus spread even more rapidly than anybody thought. If I had told you 4 weeks ago that this would spread by a day-to-day basis, it would spread by 50, 100%, 200%, 500%. I think you would have looked at me and said, Biden, what are you drinking? But that's what it did. Now, we don't know what's going to happen from here. It looks there's some evidence that in South Africa, where a lot of this started, that it's dropping off quickly, too. We don't know. But I do know that we're not going to be in a position, like I said, when we were having a problem with masks and gowns and the like. I said, I promise you. Remember the criticism? I got questions from some of you. Why are you still paying for all these masks and gowns? Why are you stockpiling this? Because we don't.
They're paying for these masks and gowns because at the end of the day, the government is looking to spend more and more money. We've already talked about this, guys. The government, they function off of debt. The more debt they can put off, the more things they're looking to spend. And obviously, these governments are looking to paint a prettier picture and sell you the news. You know, they aren't buying these mask and spending all this crazy amount of debt on things that we don't need, but they do it in a very kind way. They like to put it in a package and put a bow on it and then sell it to you and say, hey, we're doing this for you. So this is another excuse of, like I said, more government spending. At the end of this video, Biden actually says the government is going to pay 100% of all costs of this. Of course they are, because they're looking to just raise the debt ceiling, so they're looking to add on and add on and add more debt. And you know what this does to the middle class and retail investors. It causes a lot of inflation, and the people, like I said, middle to lower class are the ones that get, middle class are the ones actually that get affected the most. So what does this have to do with crypto? Like I said, FUD. FUD pushes the market down. Anytime there's something like this, bears are looking for opportunity to push the market down. So that was a quick clip I wanted to play for you guys before we started digging into these charts. Now I'm gonna bring it over here to the total crypto market cap, and we're gonna look at this quick chart before we flip over and I show you guys another video that I want to share with you guys. So if we look at total crypto market cap, we have been pulling back since November's peak. November 10th was the last top that we had at almost $3 trillion, $3 trillion market cap, which was a big milestone for the crypto community. We haven't seen that before, and it was just a very big accomplishment. But ever since we had that all-time high, we have been making lower lows. And give me 1 second to bring out my pen here, guys. We've been making lower lows and going down. We caused this big old downtrend, as you see here. We've been going down since November. So we have, let me bring out my ruler so we can get a little in depth. So since November to the price we are now, we've pulled back a total of 22%. We've seen a big drop of 31%. So overall, we had to pull back about 31%. Guys, I'm not worried about that. We've seen these pullbacks before. So when you're looking at this at a lower time frame, it looks extremely bearish. You might think, you know what, we're in a bear market. And you know what, I might not be, this might not be everyone's favorite thing to hear, but we might be in a very short term bear cycle. You know, these short mini bear cycles can happen within trends. It doesn't mean we're not in an overall bull market. And let me show you what I mean when I zoom out. Let's move out to the weekly. So let's look at this overall crypto market on the weekly. If we look at this weekly chart, we are still extremely bullish. Check this out, guys. We are making higher highs. So let's bring out this higher high. So let's see right here. Higher low, higher low, and higher low. We are making higher lows overall. We're above the 50 and the 200-day moving average, even though we are a little bit, there we go, maybe you guys can see that a little better.
And real estate doesn't thrive.
Let me stop it right there for a second. So recently, Jack Dorsey, ex-CEO of Twitter, CEO of it used to be Square, now it's called Block, recently came out with a tweet saying Bitcoin will replace the dollar and the dollar is going to zero. And this got a lot of attention from a lot of people. I'm going to play the clip so you guys can check this out.
Threaten the dollar. It's digital property that I really view as this sort of supercharger that you plug your dollars into because your dollars are losing purchasing power in this inflationary environment. And with Bitcoin, you're essentially filling them back up with monetary energy for the long run. I think that there's so much happening within the Silicon Valley space and things moving into crypto. This is where I actually do agree with Jack Dorsey and sort of his cynicism and skepticism of the crypto space at large, because VCs abound and it's never been easier to raise money. So to me, this is very similar to the dot-com bubble in the 90s, where essentially anything that had .com at the end of it was bid up, and then it all came crashing down. So even though some of these projects show promise and only time will tell, I do think that they're solutions looking for problems and people looking for easy money, whereas Bitcoin is this truly decentralized protocol. It has no VCs backing it, and it's trying to fix the problem with our central banks and what the government is essentially doing with our money instead of papering it over with fiat and promising some big ICO or VC payout. It's driven a lot by young people, right, there that were left out of the traditional system because their future was mortgaged, and we have so much debt right now that Washington is essentially raising the debt ceiling and paying our visa with our.
Ultimately, what she is trying to say is that millennials have been looking for a safe haven. We've been looking for something. I myself am a millennial. We've been looking for a safe haven. Finally, we've been giving us a type of property asset that we can actually own that grows value instead of devaluing over time. It actually increases in price over time, giving us a safe haven for our money. So before we start diving into the Bitcoin charts, I want to give you a few on-chain analysis to take a look at. This right here is the adoption curve. This was actually tweeted out by Willy Woo. Shout out to Willy Woo. This is one of his charts, and this is just showing the adoption curve of Bitcoin compared to the internet. So if we look at this line right here, this is the internet users and their growth over time. I believe this is from like 1994 and on. This is the adoption curve of the internet. Remember, back when I was a kid, the internet was just in its infancy. It was a hot topic that was growing. I got to live through the dot-com era. I got to see dot-com this, dot-com that, which was kind of a bust because after the dot-com era, we lost a lot of dot-coms. And this is where we're entering what they call the Web 3. So if you see this line right here, this is the adoption curve of the internet users and how long it took from let's say 93, 92 all the way to 2015, 2016, the amount of time it took to get to 1 billion users. And if you look at this green line right here, this is from about 2008 to recent time, is the timeline that it took Bitcoin to reach 1 billion users. 10 years, 12 years compared to how long the internet took. We are almost at that 1 billion user mark, and I think from there on it's only going to continue to grow. Another chart I want to dive into, guys, is Bitcoin NVT singles. This is also shared by Willy Woo. Another shout out to Willy Woo for these amazing charts. This guy knows his on-chain analysis. Now, what we're looking at the NVT is kind of showing us signs or signals of when Bitcoin has been incredibly undervalued and oversold. And these are the marks that we see here. Usually, historically, when you see these, they're very good buying opportunities, and usually a big price move upwards comes after. So if we look at this area right here, when it signaled, we were way under the RSI or these moving averages, way oversold, and after this area, it led to a big pump. Same thing if we kind of look at this area right here. If we're looking at this area right here, it came with the exact same thing. And this was 2018. So this was around mid 2017, 2018 run. We had that big capitulation right here, buy signal, boom, and we went skyrocketing. That was, I believe, the peak. And then we started to sell off again. 2018, same thing. We started to see some oversold. So this one, I get mixed feelings about this signal, even though this was a great buying opportunity, because if you would have bought here, you still would have been in profit over time. Same great still buying opportunity. It did downtrend a little bit until we got to 2019 right here, which signaled that big buy signal, which was what made this gigantic rally to where we are at right now. So ever since this whole COVID sell-off, Bitcoin has just been exploding in price and just has not seen anything as low as we were 2 years ago. So that was a buy signal right there. This was the May sell-off. So if you guys remember earlier this year in May, we had that big 40-50% retracement, and this signal, the NVT signal, once again told us it was a nice buy signal at these ranges. We got the signal right here and the way oversold. We rallied back up, made some new all-time highs, and then recently these last, I want to say this last month or so, we've been selling off. We are back at this buy signal. We are back at the buy signal, guys. Bitcoin is signaling it is way oversold once again. With that said, this is not financial advice. a lot of my guys at the Golden State Trading Group. If you guys aren't following our Discord, take the time. Link is in the bio. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, Discord, Twitter. Just DM us, send us an email, and we'll get you hooked up and connected to our Discord chat. But for any of you guys that are in my VIP groups, I've been keeping you guys updated, letting you know, hey, these are good buying opportunities. Always manage risk. Like I said, not financial advice, but these are great buying opportunities. Now, this is signaling that we might see another big move to the upside. And that's what it's looking at. If we switch over to the next picture. Now, this was a chart I posted yesterday. Now, this chart is a lower time frame and is showing us BTC in the lower time frame. Boom, right here. This buy zone right here. This is where our major key support has been for the last few weeks. This has been a key support. People have been buying these dips right here and adding. And as you see right here, it's been in a descending trend. So support line has been flat. People have not been letting the price drop from right there. But we've been making lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. Now, you might ask yourself, how is this bullish if we keep making lower highs? Well, that's because we're looking at it in a lower time frame. Let's check out another chart to give you guys a better perspective. We are looking at Bitcoin right now. These red markings that you're seeing on the chart is the markings of the strongest resistance that I've been finding. These are strong key resistance levels that we need to break above to be able to make these higher lows. Okay, so let's look at these few things right here. We started pulling back in November. As you can see, we hit this resistance of 67, got rejected, and got sent to a lower level. Here we had another lower high. If you look at right here, lower high, went back up to retest, failed, lower high, went here, went back to retest, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. Now, we're going to look at a few different things on this chart. As if you can see here, once we started that sell-off, that major sell-off from early November, our 50-day moving average went under our 200-day, and we've been struggling to go above that ever since. So ever since about November 14th, November 13th, we went under that 50-day moving average and haven't been able to jump above that moving average. But let me show you some really bullish signals that I see here. Even though we've been making, I marked these lower highs for you, all these yellows. But if you look right here, we were building a hidden divergence, a bullish hidden divergence. Let me try to make this a little bigger for you guys. Sorry about that. There we go. MACD, because I really want you guys to check out this MACD and this RSI. Okay, so I found like I said, a hidden bullish divergence in RSI and MACD. How do we see that? So from this high right here, if you look at this line, this trending line, we were struggling to break above this trend line right here. That's where your higher lows are coming in. See? Boom. We haven't been able to break above. We've been staying under on this RSI. And also, if you look at MACD, it's the same thing. We've been struggling to break above this trend line and see right here, it was kind of a fake out. Boom, we had this little bit of a fake out right here. Almost, it broke the 200. It broke a little bit above the 200, which is where you see, right here, MACD. Broke a little bit above the 200 before we had that massive dump. Boom, big dump till we went to almost 40,000 BTC. Everybody was pulling their hair out and saying, oh no, it's all over, it's all over. But actually, that would have been a great buy opportunity for any of you guys that purchased around the 40, bought the dip at 40K. Congratulations, that was a hell of a buy. So, Ever since that, we haven't been able to break above. Here we start to see some more strength in the MACD, but still not breaking fully above, but trying to. You could start seeing these signals kind of change. Same thing with the histogram. You're seeing the histogram get a little bit more green, even though there's a little bit red right here. We're starting to see a little bit of a trend. But once we broke above in this area on the MACD, you can see it right here on the RSI. We got a little bit of a bigger move above that trend line, and that's where this bullish divergence is coming in. So as you see here on the RSI, boom, we finally got that bounce we were looking for. Same thing with MACD. We started trading above this trend line and caught a bounce right here, December 17th. We caught that bounce, went back to retest and got a higher low bounce right there. So if we go up and look at the BTC price on this downwards trend line right here, even though our price has been going down and we've been making lower highs, our MACD and RSI is actually making higher highs right here. We got a higher high and a higher high right here. That is your bullish divergence right there. And for the first time in a while, boom, let me break out my pen right here, we broke above that trend line. Now the question is this trend line gonna hold? And that's something we're gonna have to see in the upcoming days or weeks. Usually December, Christmas, and New Year's is very bullish for Bitcoin. We've seen large moves in the Bitcoin market, and you guys know what comes after that. So a lot of people are saying, hey, what goes on with what's going on with altcoins? You guys know, I say this in almost every video, Bitcoin is the tide that moves all boats. Everyone knows that after Bitcoin has its large move, then it turns into alt season, and alt season, all the altcoins seem to follow. I strongly recommend always investing your money in strong alts. I know a lot of people are just chasing gains and trying to get a quick buck, or trying to give these moonshots of you know, with these doggy coins and these other. I'm getting DMs of coins that are coming up every single day. Hey, look at this. This one's only this much, and this, and look, it's already moved 5,000%. If a coin already moved 5,000%, why would you even look at that as an investment? So, not trying to down talk on any altcoins, because, you know, I do trade a lot of altcoins and I even hold some altcoins too. But my main priority right here is Bitcoin and Ethereum. These are the big dogs. So for the first time in a while, it's showing a break above this trend, which is really bullish. This can be the start of something a lot bigger. Let me zoom out because we are looking at a lower time frame, and let me give you a better perspective. Right here, we move to the daily. If you look at the daily, man, my little pen. Boom, boom, boom. If we look at the daily, this breakout is a lot larger. So this can be possibly something like we seen here, maybe something like this. So not exactly picture perfect, because this looks more like an accumulation zone. This right here looks more this looks like a good accumulation zone right here. And if we are able to build up that momentum, it might push us to this zone right here. So like I said, I'm really optimistic on Bitcoin right now. Things are looking like they're turning around and look pretty bullish, but this is crypto, and sometimes what you think is going to happen doesn't happen, and what you think will never happen happens. So don't put all your eggs in one basket. We just don't know where the price is. Anyone that tells you they know exactly what's going on, they're lying to you, because the crypto market is unpredictable. We could only go off of what the charts are telling us, what the information is telling us, what the fundamental analysis is telling us, and we try to base our predictions off of that. But like I said, guys, we're seeing a recovery. The bullish divergence right here. If we're looking at MACD is starting to turn around and start trending upwards, which is really bullish. These next few weeks or next few days can be really massive. I'm hoping that this is where we caught our bounce and we start making our move to the upside. Our biggest resistance is going to be around the $50,000 area, about right here. Let me lower this a little bit so you guys can see where it kind of stops. This is going to be kind of our most important resistance to break. Once we can break and close, let me bring this out to the weekly. Once we can close above this 50,000 on the weekly, we have about 5 days till the weekly is over. Once we can close above that 50, now that's going to be another bullish signal that we're ready to go to the next resistance, which would be around $60,000 before we can get to our last resistance all-time high, about around $70,000. I think anything is possible, guys, with the mass adoption that we've been seeing over this previous year has just been astonishing. A lot of people are coming into the market. Like I said, I'm very optimistic on what's going on in the crypto market as a whole, and very optimistic with Bitcoin. We just got to keep an eye and monitor as Bitcoin as much as possible. I'm going to keep all my VIPs updated on how we're going, how we're moving. I hope this video was a lot of help, and I want to thank all my subscribers, everybody that's been enjoying these videos. If you like to see more and these were very informative for you, or they helped you get a little bit of an understanding of not only some TA but what's going on in the crypto community, don't forget to subscribe, show some love, throw some likes, leave some comments, and I will catch you guys on the next video. Golden State Trading Group, if you're not following the Discord and the Twitter, please do so. I will catch you guys on the next time. Thank you so much.